Hello, gamers. Hello, noobs. This is your boy Pat, and I'm super excited to introduce my guest this game. She's known for her ability to control and dominate VC games. She had 100% win rate on 5 games in the previous SH tournament. She'll sneak her way into M5, even if she was stable spied, to some, known as Nuna, to others as Ingenue, embodiment of the spirit of Basim. She's aiming for the moon. Ingenue.
Hi, that was such a nice intro. Thanks, Pat.
It's great to see you here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Alright, so let's go over the players. 1.1 is Mick, Squirrelin, Giselle, Xander, Muchacha, and then we have Sachin. 1.1 was already picked, and he's off picking 1.2, 1.6, which is an official dev 1.1. Yeah, so currently, this is the second game for Muchacha. He's the one who got subbed in. We also have Sachin playing his third game. Second game for Zanderhaug, and I'm not sure if Herm has played the game already.
Yeah, he played in my game.
Oh, so this would be his second game as well. I'm just checking for Mick and Squirrelin right now.
Squirrelin played at least one duo game.
And Mick has also played the game, so no one is new to the tourney in this lobby. Which is funny because yesterday I remember there was one game with Stern where it was like pretty much everyone has had their first game.
Oh, that's interesting.
Alright, so we're already in 1.4. Let's go over the picks. I feel like 1.3 should have been Zanderhaug. This 1.3 is very interesting.
Yeah, he might just not have wanted to pick Hammer.
Hmm.
I think 1.3 is more likely a res pick than a spy pick, but I guess we'll see.
Hmm. What's the good 1.4 from Zanderhaug's POV? Kachin is definitely getting picked on M1. So he's looking at team. I would probably off-pick Giselle with someone. Probably Giselle with Mick.
Yeah, I think Giselle with anyone would be a good off pick.
And players are already chatting. The screen says that I read Hat's chat. I read Hat said, oh no, and fearfully scanned the table. I have
Yeah,
no
they're just
idea.
still learning about the tournament.
Okay. Because Mick said no hats, so I might win here. Oh, I remember, yes, he played this one game. It was a duo game where they lost missions because Hats was harassing Assassinal game,
Oh yeah, I did catch that mission.
and Mick was Merlin, and they lost. Yeah, I remember that. So Xander is stalling here? I don't think he should be holding this pick for so long.
Yeah.
You have default 25% win ratio spy. Oh, he's on picking Giselle. Well, this seems like a pick that's saying there's something wrong. Ring the bells.
Yeah,
Sound
the
the
thing is,
alarm.
this is I don't know how how often you've played with Xander, but this is a very classic Xander pick. Like he does this as VT all the time.
Hmm.
So
To be frank, I wasn't aware of that.
yeah, this is like he loves doing like if someone else on picks, he loves picking the on picker.
Hmm.
And he basically gambles like if it's right, he looks omega PR and then the shot is really difficult for spies. But of course, I mean it's negative expected value sometimes because if
Oh
you're
yeah.
wrong, you're kind of hard on Merlin.
Yeah. So 2.5 now, I feel like it should be Xander, Giselle, and Sachin from his
Mhm.
POV. So Muchacha here should take under account that he's probably getting removed.
Yeah, I would just off pick like Giselle and Sachin or Giselle and Xander here, but
Hmm.
and
Interesting. I would start thinking about 3.1 here. To pick something that if I know that I will be removed, I can kinda low-key claim something, assuming that M2 already failed. So we can assume that 2.5 is Xander, Giselle, and Sachin, assume it failed, and then on pick someone, and then just follow on it on 3.1, removing Xander Hug. Alright, so Giselle was picked. Let's see, because there's still a chance that Xander will just pick right hand side. His 1.4 could be saying, oh, Giselle, you just unpicked a spy on Merlin. Let's go. This 2.1 is very good from Sachin's POV.
Mhm.
Oh, and Skrill is self-approving. And Xander is rejecting. So we're already dealing with something very unusual.
Yeah, this is abnormal for both Xander and Squirrelin.
I'm trying to think about what the fuck
Oh, he
just
claims misclick.
happened. Yeah, sorry, misclick. Trust. Trust
I think with
misclick.
Squirrelin, I would usually believe misclick, to be fair.
You know, if this would be
Curious why
really a
Xander read.
misclick 2.1 in a tourney game, and it would pass and fail. But you know, this 2.1, I feel like is getting picked anyway, so maybe it wouldn't be that bad. But it still steals like 4 picks of possible info giving from Raz.
Yeah.
So this 2.3 is adding 2.2 is actually an accuse. It's picking Giselle and Xanderhug. I wonder. Oh, it's fine. I'm just thinking about what Mick is doing this game. Because he's 1.1 into 2.2 is kind of spying Muchacha. Like just assuming he's a spy. And I don't think he has a reason to do that.
I think it's also like Giselle looks very res, and then Xander res Giselle, and Giselle on picks Sachin. So it's very unlikely that since we're picking Xander's team right now, it's very unlikely that Bimu's on Xander's team.
Okay, he's
But
picking
he
right
picks
Hansen.
this.
Because of 2.1, I guess? I mean, Xander didn't say misclick. He
Yeah.
actually wanted to reject. Guess when we were looking at Xander Merlin this game. Oh, unless it's right hand side and Meg, and 1.1 is bad, 1.2 is bad, 1.3 is bad, and Xander Percival, because Giselle unpicked Merlin, question mark. So it would be Xander to Giselle and Sachin, picking 1.4, because he sees 1.3 and knows that this is the only team. I picked rejected 3.1.
I mean, Giselle better be res, or else this game will be very hard for resistance.
You know, this is the 4th time in this tournament where people off pick 3.1. I mean, pick reg 3.1. It was done twice by Morgana. It was Ave and I don't remember, but it was done by Ave twice. Oh, and it was done by Muchacha last time. Yeah, so this is the 4th time. It was done twice by Ave and twice by Muchacha. So Ave was Morgana and VT. The last time Muchacha was Morgana, so I guess he's gonna be VT the same if we want to follow the trend. So 2 apps again.
Oh yeah, this is Xander PR chat.
I am so unsure this game. I think I will reject.
I feel like he's point acting. Maybe I'll eat my
Holy
words.
fuck.
I see that, I'm like, oh.
Oh god. Well, I feel like Xander would be the one who would benefit the most from floating 2.5. Because Muchacha, like, he can still claim that he doesn't like Muchacha because of 2.4. So if he's a
Yeah.
spy, then this float is kind of okay, I guess. If I would be Rest, I would just pick Sachin and Giselle. But if he's Percival to Giselle and Sachin, then you know.
I mean, he's still getting on missions in M3.
Yeah, he's been picked since 3.2.
Bimu trying to kill the Danis? He
Oh.
actually did this yesterday in one of my games as Spy, though, so it's definitely in his range.
And he says that when Squirrelin is holding pick. To be frank, what if I would be Giselle and I would be Merlin? I would add Mick. Okay, let's add Mick. This is what Xander says. So yes, there's if this is clean right hand side and Mick, then there's still possibility of Xander to Giselle.
I actually like this pick from Squirrelin a lot, even if it got 3 rejects, because I think it makes a lot of logical sense from his POV.
All right. Oh, and Sachin is
Never mind.
assassin. Alright, if Sachin is assassin, then I'm just gonna GM Xander how. Yeah, I just don't know. What the fuck
Man,
is he
did
doing?
Xander suicide?
He just leaves the game. No, let's take a sec. So, is there anything else? Well, he could be trying to frame Giselle after 1.3 is picked. But he can be just trying to frame Giselle and 50-50 on Sachin being Morgana.
Mhm.
I would always shoot into Xander and Giselle in this game. Is this why 2.1 was self-approved? Because M1 plus 1 was clean?
Possibly.
And Xander is rejecting because it's two Merlins? And it's not two Merlins, Sachin is Assassin. Yeah. Giselle I didn't buy. Well, I don't know I didn't buy it. Like 1.3 is a very interesting M1. Wait, I just said that Muchacha can be VT this game. He was Morgana last time, and
True.
he's Raz, so there could be this thing like you pick Rich 3.1 first as Morgana, and then you are VT. That would be funny.
Indeed.
What else is there in the book? Mick isn't dying. 1.1.
Yeah, I don't think Nick should die.
Muchacha. I don't know. I don't know. I just think it's either Xander or Giselle, with Xander having cracked reads.
Yeah, I think Bimu seems unlikely.
Bimu lines, so it would be something like probably Giselle to Bimu. Or maybe not. I honestly have no idea.
Yeah, I'd probably just shoot Xander here, but he definitely does this as all roles, the 1.4. Like he makes a point of doing it quite frequently.
Hmm. So who would you GM this game?
Probably Xander anyways, but I guess we can think harder. Where is 1.3 coming from? I also just remembered in my first Avalon tourney, you were one of my first coaches, so this is a cool full circle moment.
I remember that game. It was a lot of fun. It was two
Yeah.
tournaments ago, right?
Yeah.
Tournament 3. 4. 1.4 could be a
Wait, no, it
read.
was 3 tournaments ago.
Oh, so it was 3 tournaments ago, tournament 3, yeah.
Yeah.
Giselle doing 1.3 because 1.2 is bad, 1.1 is bad. But he could be off-picking Xanderhawk with... Could be on-picking Xanderhawk. And this is the pick I would do in 1.43. And then
I
1.4
think Giselle
has a
is
lot of pressure.
VT.
Giselle to Xander makes perfect sense. So if it's Giselle to Xander, I would expect Giselle to try to unperson M3.
Yeah.
And he didn't. Well, he did 3.3 because he approved. Then he rejected team from Squirrel and Merlin. That makes sense.
I think
Yeah.
if Giselle is Percy, he should app 3.4.
Hmm. Well, maybe this is the unpursing he's doing.
Mhm.
He is Percival, so please do not shoot him.
It could be Mick Percy.
You know, I feel like even if Xander is shot and he's not Merlin, he will not get a lot of aim from this game. I feel like it was just like RNG and he just got it right.
Yeah, I've told him this a lot in games where I think picks like 1.4, like if it's right, good job, you won the game, and maybe you get shot, but if it's wrong, like, it can derail the entire game. So I think, like, on average, picks like 1.4 are just RNG and so not helpful.
Yeah,
Unless you have a really solid read, which he does it so frequently, it's like
yeah. I feel like always like being loud on 1.4 is very unnecessary. You would
Mhm.
like to give yourself more space because you're holding the most important pick of this game, 2.5. To just do something that forces people to do something from themselves. So if I would be Zanderhawk, I know that Muchacha is picking after me. Just like give him something to work on and see what he does. It's more information. If you do 1.4, 1.5 means nothing because
or
he's
I
just
feel like if
following.
you're Percy I mean, sorry, if you're Merlin, you can even off-pick Sachin and someone to try to like Percy pick instead, but I feel like this pick is just kind of like I'm never a big fan of picks like this, unless you have, like, a really solid read.
Same. The rest are starting to chat now. I don't know why. Sure. And Mick is like, please don't talk. Mute.
I mean, Mick has played quite a few games on Maki rules, right?
No, I didn't know that they share the same account.
Yeah, so Mick plays on Maki rules, I'm pretty sure. I think Maki is Mick's account. It's not like a different person.
Alright, so Ingenious, so since we have some time, maybe I can ask you some cool questions.
Sure.
Like, so who do you think is the best Avalon player at the current moment?
Oh boy. Uh, I'm having a hard time choosing.
Hard
I
time
honestly
choosing.
think Joni like, I know Joni clowns a lot, but I think the solves that Joni can pull out of nowhere are just ridiculously good. So I think
Who's
Joni is actually, like, maybe one of the best res, and then, like, Arm would be a really good spy.
oh, I haven't heard Johnny mentioned. But that's I agree. John is a very good player. So a lot of people think that remember him for just outing Merlin and going insane, but he played like what 8,000 games and he has 52% win rate overall over that
Yeah,
many
I think
games. He's very good.
yeah, people forget, like, I think Joni in isolation is, like, yeah, like, like, one of the best players Avalon
Hmm.
has ever seen.
Who do you think is going to be MVP this tourney?
Oh, I don't know. Who's won a lot so far? I think Dev's always good. Dev's always so good in Tourney because he just plays like he normally does, while other people psych themselves out.
That's interesting. Because last time, in the last game he played, it was the previous game actually, he said, I'm gonna quote him. This is the first time in my life I tried to sound Merlin that hard. He was Morgana, by the way, the day one missions.
Yeah,
So right now, Strom is topping the MVP board, but he played 5 games, so he played all of his games,
I see.
and
How
he won
what's the
3.
point value of them?
Can you say that again?
What was the point value?
He has just 12 points.
Oh,
Behind
so
him
he
is
played quite a
Maxi. Behind him is Maxi with 2 games played and both won and 9 points already.
bit. Mhm.
So yeah, a lot of good players are just starting to play. Right, so did anything happen in the assassination chat? Yeah, I don't think so. I know that this chat from Sachin is pretty sus. He's outing he's outing assassin in chat.
Does seem like it.
He just strongly thinks it's under. Well, maybe they will shoot. Do you mind taking the time? Alright, so I think it's gonna take some more time.
Yeah, I feel like shots like this are so difficult because ultimately, like, you can use all the logic you want, but it's possible that 1.4 is just RNG.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Excuse me. So Xander should just be shot this game. And if he got it, oh, sure, he won
Yeah,
a
I think
game. It's not gonna happen all the time. Probably it's gonna happen like less than 50% of the time. So you're gonna be, well, you will win in the long run.
mhm. And also, I don't know that the other res, like, did enough.
The only thing is 1.3 that gets attention.
Yeah.
It's only Xander and Giselle this game to be shot. If it's anyone else, if it's Muchacha, well, you got carried by 1.3, 1.4.
Mhm. But I think 1.3 can easily on-pick Xander, so, I mean, I don't know how Herm plays, like, maybe he does just brass balls, like, on-pick a spy with 2 res hammers because 1.1 and 1.2 are wrong.
Yeah, I feel like Giselle picking Xander is the best optimal pick because then Xander is put on the spot. He has to pick something that claims completely new info. The 1.2, 1.3 in that situation would follow 1.1, but 1.4 would have to claim something new.
Yeah.
Then 1.5 has some space, unless 1.4 is on big. And
And I think
it's overall the better game
1.3
to
being
solve.
a Xander on-pick would be more likely right on logic as well, so
Hmm.
I don't know, I kind of want to VT just or, like, Chrissy Giselle for that. I feel like Giselle's not worth win.
Let's.
And then Bimu tried to stop Dennis.
Hmm. So let's go over the rankings. So I just wonder if this game has high stakes. Now, what happens if Sachin or Squirrel and Marin win, or if they lose? How do the standings change? So at the moment, the first place is Devastating Assassins. That's team number one, and from their team, it's Xander. The second team is Pingu's team. It's the Kitty Cats, and from that team, it's
It's Sam.
Muchacha. It's Muchacha. So
Oh,
two
it's
top
Muchacha.
two teams are in the same team. So I don't think there's a lot to be here. From the Walter Juniors and from your team, like you are tied on the third place. It's 27 points, and the Walter Juniors is actually it's Giselle, and from your team, it's Squirrely Merlin. So
Mhm.
if Squirrely Merlin finds shots correctly, then you are the third place.
That would be good. Would be nice. I think though, like, early tourney leads can be deceiving. Like in the SH tourney, like even point swings of like 2 to 3 games easily get like flipped around over the course of a couple days.
Oh yeah, the boys united know the pain.
It's
Yeah,
always
it's
nice looking at Nixon's projection and being like, oh, 40% chance to win, but then you're like, oh, we hit
oh,
the 60.
we fucking lost. I do think it's not Xander. So I feel Squirrelin doesn't want to shoot Xander. When such an obvious, quote unquote, obvious shot gets stalled for so long, I feel there's this innate tendency to just do something else.
Yeah,
Like they won't really shoot Xander. I feel the more time they take, the less likely they are to shoot Xander.
yeah. I do understand taking a couple minutes because sometimes like there's one obvious PR claimer and you move to shoot that, but then when you look like, oh, there's a really obvious Percy line for them. But I think in cases like this, like it's going to be mostly on like, okay, Xander is either PR or has massive RNG, and you can't really differentiate between that with logic. So you just have to read chat and be like, oh, I think everyone else isn't Merlin, so I'll shoot him. Like there's not a lot you can get from talking about it for 20
Yeah,
minutes.
exactly. They don't have a lot of chat from Res. They don't have a lot of picks. It's been a blitz with Clean M2 and someone being added. Muchacha was, there's this one thing that Muchacha said. I don't think we should be doing Dennis, but I would think it's not Merlin. Definitely not Merlin.
Yeah, Muchacha tried to kill Dennis, which I mean, I guess he can do if he really trusts his res team, but it seems very ballsy as Merlin to be like, I don't want
Yeah,
Dennis. Like, if I'm a Percy and I see my Merlin say that, unless the spies are outing to the moon and back, I'm just that's I'll be like, okay, Dennis is dirty.
all right, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do something. Let's roll Merlin. Let's roll forward. So one would be Giselle, two would be Zanderhaug, three would be Muchacha, three, and four is Mick. So let's see what the wheel has to say. So
Alright.
wheel is saying it's Mick. It's actually Mick. Holy fucking hell. Alright, let's see that possibility. So Mick being Merlin, he picks 1.1. He's a gamer. Like, he's a gamer. So
Yeah, if he
he's
picks 1.1 as Merlin, he's yeah, he's a gamer.
he's doing a gamer move. So his Percival is probably Zanderhawk, who actually knows, who knows he's Merlin. He sees 1.1 and he's like, fuck it, I got it, bro. He sees 1.3 and he's like, oh shit, we gotta save the situation. Picks Giselle and then let's just fuck it and go right hand side. Alright, so this is what Wheel believes. Like, I don't know. That would be very cool if that would be actually true, to be frank. It would be, I think it would be the best Merlin and Percival play. Maybe even.
It would be pretty bold. But I mean, it's possible that Xander just read 1.3 as a res pick. Like, I said I liked 1.3 as a pick because it adds info, and it's just yeah, like, it adds info, it feels
Mhm.
useful. It's less likely that he's spy because he's on picking someone else, so, like, unless Sachin is his co-spy, he's, like, making it more likely that a res gets on picked, so it just narrows Giselle's spy team. So it's possible that Xander just on picked Herm on that. It's just I don't know, where's Merlin then if Xander's a VT?
Oh my god, I love this analysis of 1.3. I think it's so on point, and I'm pretty sure that everyone will enjoy you talking about that while
Aw.
listening. Hmm, what do you mean? Didn't DV on Merlin? Yeah, what does he mean? What is DV?
I have no clue. Oh, downvote, I guess.
Downvote?
Like, reject? I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
downvote
downvote,
2.1.
downvote, because later he says 2.1 downvote.
Oh man, that's a huge thing to learn. Yeah, I guess we went over the whole game, and they didn't.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so if Xander is a VT who just read 1.3 as res, then where's Merlin?
Yeah, Merlin is, I don't know, maybe Muchacha. He was chatting with someone on
Yeah, it
Discord.
could be Muchacha. He could be just killing Danis knowing that Xander always wants this
Yeah,
team. It's very bold, but he might just do it.
yeah, so like, well, to be frank, I have no idea. Like,
Yeah. I have a hard time seeing 1.3 as Merlin because I can see 1.1 as just like, oh, like even if there's an incorrect off pick, like you're off picking both spies, so maybe Percy will get the memo.
well,
But 1.3 can be like it would be a really, really risky pick as Merlin.
well, there's also this argument that it could be picked by Merlin because one is forcing 1.5 and preferably 2.5 with good M1s. I mean, he would force something that's logical with M1s, but M1s are completely wrong if he does 1.3. So then people can easily accuse all of the M1s. And
That's
it
true.
happens very, very early. So I think that people would be able to logically accuse M1s by 3.1.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just don't play with Herm enough to know like what he does. I think player specific knowledge, especially in Avalon, is like so helpful. So it's hard to be like,
Yeah,
well,
I
I don't
agree.
really play with Herm, so I don't know. All I know is that he never picks M1 plus one.
No,
Except this game apparently.
except this game when he's Merlin.
Yeah, so maybe he's PR for picking M1 plus one, to be honest.
Yeah, this 1.3 is sus. But you know what? I feel like doing a gamer GM, and okay, I just fucking caught myself doing this. What I mentioned: the more assassination takes time, the less likely you are to shoot Xander Haug.
Yeah.
And we were just about to change our shot.
Yeah.
No.
Can you scroll up to look at Emu chat?
Oh, definitely. So let's unhighlight people. And let's focus on BMU. Krillin is Percy. Alright, let's start from the beginning. Being press is good. Easier to win. Oh, yeah. In this tournament, that's surely the case. Krillin is Percy Spy. I will say that. Or 2.4.
After 2.3.
After 2.3. Giselle and Muchacha. Oh, yes, 2.3 Giselle Muchacha. Well, or maybe not. So make a spy. I would pick Sachin and Zanderhog if I would accuse. Or Giselle and Sachin.
Oh, I'm also doing the thing where I'm like, maybe we GMD move.
Yeah, like, come on, spies, what are you doing to us? Team, I don't think we should Dennis anymore. This sounds like a Percival at most, or maybe V team.
Mhm. And then
Because
Xander's like, okay, let's add Mick.
this sounds angry
Mhm.
or like lack of patience. There's literally no reason for him to say I don't think we should dance anymore.
Yeah, it's okay. We don't waver. We're guessing Xander.
Yep. We stand tall and proud.
Yeah. I think 1.4 is very possible for any VT to pick. Just like as I said, 1.3 narrows Giselle's spy teams by a lot if he's playing optimally. It's just like Xander added Mick. Like Xander said some stuff about like, I'm not sure. This game is complicated, and you're like, alert, alert.
Alright, so maybe there's something that Giselle said that we can maybe find anything. I don't want to change my GM, but I would like to
Yeah.
have this. Oh, but I said, you know, I said he was likely. I must channel the spirit of Mayor in 3.1. Is under the spirit of Mayor. What would that be? Stalling or accusing someone who apps 3.1?
I don't know.
It's probably one of them.
Maybe he
3.1.
just wants to be a good res like mayor.
A good rest like Mayor. By the way, Complex actually said that he thinks Mayor is the best player in Avalon.
Oh, interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
Mare is obviously very good. I think people underrate Mare right now, like at this moment, because he like hasn't played Avalon as much recently. But like, especially when I joined site, like Mare was like one of like a great top players. So
He's still, I would even say that he's the best assassin. This guy really knows how to assassinate.
mhm.
The only thing Giselle said is, I must channel the spirit of Mayor. Let's fucking go. And then he says, okay, to Muchacho, and Muchacho says, I don't think we should Dennis anymore. So Giselle's like, okay, I'm Merlin. So
And
I'll
then
add
Xander
the
goes,
last threat.
"Let's add Mick."
Yeah, but the Nick is the only ad. Unless,
Yeah.
okay, this actually makes a lot of sense because we were playing from Xander's POV, to be frank, the whole game, and we had this, we had this idea that Xander is thinking that M1s are completely wrong. 1.3, 1.1, 1.2, and that's why 1.3 happens. So he picks Giselle. I remember when we were commentating the who to add, it was only Mick,
Mhm.
and Xander was the one to say that. Well, this could be a hint that Xander is Merlin, it's VT, because when you're VT, it's more likely that he will repeat what we say, because we're trying to solve. And if he's Merlin, then he shouldn't be like he wouldn't be sure what he can say at we what he can't say. Excuse me.
Yeah. I I think if I were to shoot someone not Xander, I guess it would be Mick. I really don't think Herm is Merlin.
I think it's either
But I
Xander
mean,
or it's
I
Mer.
think it's just Xander, like and if it's not Xander, I don't think we really have a way of telling because then Merlin just got served, like, a VT hard claiming PR on a silver platter, like, we don't have the information to distinguish that unless we are, like, really good at social reading chat, and there wasn't that much chat, so it's like
And there was no chat. But I still give this slight chance to Herm being Merlin and doing this 1.3 to pretty much control the entire game.
yeah, that's fair.
Hmm. I don't think we can even think about Percival's.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, those games are brutal because the missions are very short, and
Mhm,
then assassination is incredibly long. It's
yeah.
just painful. I would much rather watch missions.
Yeah, for sure, because it's more fun to I don't know, I think you have more information to solve with, but, like, here now you're trying to solve with not much info.
Yeah, you have 5 minutes. They have 5 minutes left, so we're already
Oh,
25 minutes into the
wow.
assassination.
I got to spend so much time with you, Pat.
And I'm really happy that you're here. Really,
I guess another question is why is 3.4 rejected by 3 people? I mean, well, Sachin will reg because he wants to Heina, but, like, why are Giselle and Bimu rejecting 3.4? Because I think that's Squirrelin's team. Like, I liked the pick because I think it's quite logical from his point of view.
mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think it's maybe because he's removing Xanderhawk, who just solo rejected.
Mhm.
Maybe that's why Muchacho doesn't really like that. Hmm. But I have no clue. If it's Giselle, also they actually wanted to shoot Giselle. Because I
Yes.
remember they said at the start it's only two people,
Mm.
which
Yeah, they
make
said it's in Giselle and
Xander's
Xander.
begging to die. What was Xander to make? I think they went over everything. No. Yeah, so Spice, can you please shoot? It seems like such a waste of time if they will shoot Xanderhaug.
Yeah. I
Really.
mean, I respect them talking it out. It's just this is the kind of game where like you can talk for like 5 minutes and have the same level of analysis that you have at like 25 minutes.
Yep.
Because everything's so speculative, like there's nothing really to shoot
2.1 is the pick of this game, definitely. Imagine both on this pick, a person rejected and off approved. And this is the
on.
first time any one of those has happened in this tournament. So I don't
Yeah.
think no, there was a reject, but it was by Crouton in 1.4 in the 2 games ago.
I mean, rejecting an M1's like I mean, rejecting if you're on mission, I think is like more okay. But like off apping, I mean, obviously they did it here because they're spies, but it's like
Yeah. Because of Giselle's Percy to Xander.
if 2.1 passes and then fails, like who's gonna get spied? It's gonna be Sachin almost always.
So can you please shoot? I want my GM points. Or I want my, I said so points. Mhm. Well, I hope that they will shoot Maryland, so you are third place.
I hope so too.
Mm.
Mick. Mick is also bored.
He wants to name his kid Danis now. I don't know why, because they kind of killed Danis this game. That would be a poor kid.
All right, Xander to Mick. That's my final guess. Xander. You got 2 minutes.
1 minute.
Oh man.
If the timer displays 46, you will lose. Okay, shoot Xander. And it was Muchacha.
It was Dimu.
Holy smoke, so it was Xander picking this? And Muchacha said, Don Danis?
Yeah, I guess he trusted Xander.
What the fuck? Alright, this game was crazy.
Yeah.
Good game to Raz. This was actually a good game from Raz. Alright, so thanks for being here, Ingenue. And
Yeah.
well,
Thanks for having me, Pat. You know what?
alright,
We shot a PR.
we did it. We did a
And
Bassin
it
one.
wasn't Giselle, so we take those points and then we go next.
Let's go next.